Alright folks, buckle up because we're talking tariffs. Yes, those pesky little charges that can make or break economies. And today, they're back in the spotlight. Think of tariffs as a kind of border tax. Every time goods cross into a country, they might get hit with this fee. The government slaps them on goods coming in from other countries. It's like a toll for crossing the border, but for products. Why? Well, sometimes it's to protect domestic industries. Imagine you're a local manufacturer. Tariffs can help keep foreign competition at bay. Other times it's about trying to get a better deal in trade negotiations. It's a bargaining chip, a way to say, hey, play fair or else. Whatever the reason, one thing's for sure. Tariffs mean higher prices for consumers. When companies pay more to import goods, they often pass those costs on to you. And guess what? The US just hit China with a fresh round of tariffs. This isn't just a minor tweak, it's a significant escalation. That's right, folks. The trade war that seemingly cooled off? It's heating up again. The tensions are rising and the stakes are higher than ever. This time, it's a 10% tariff on a whole bunch of Chinese imports. That's a hefty increase that will ripple through the economy. We're talking everything from clothes to electronics to toys, everyday items that you and I use regularly. So, yeah, if you were planning on buying a new phone, laptop, or wardrobe anytime soon, brace yourselves. Those price tags are about to get a lot scarier. This is a big deal, people. It's not just about numbers on a spreadsheet, it's about real-world impacts on our daily lives. These tariffs have the potential to shake up global trade. They can alter shipping routes, affect international relations, and even change the way businesses operate. And they'll definitely be hitting your wallets. So, next time you're out shopping, remember, the tax man cometh, and he's bringing higher prices with him. So let's break down this new tariff, shall we? On February 5, 2025, the US government slapped a 10% tariff on a wide range of Chinese goods. We're talking billions of dollars worth of stuff. And guess who ultimately ends up footing the bill? That's right, you, the consumer. The official reason for this tariff? The US government says it's to protect American jobs and industries. They argue that China has been engaging in unfair trade practices. Whether you buy that argument or not, the result is the same, higher prices. Now 10% might not sound like a lot, but trust me, it adds up. Especially when you're talking about things like electronics and clothing, where the profit margins are already pretty thin. This tariff is going to have a ripple effect throughout the global economy. Get ready for a wild ride. Let's talk fast fashion, folks. You know, the kind of fashion that changes with the blink of an eye, where today's must-have item is tomorrow's forgotten trend. You know, those websites where you can score trendy clothes for dirt cheap? We're talking about places like Shine and Temu where you can fill your cart without emptying your wallet. Yeah, well, those days might be numbered. The clock is ticking on the era of ultra-affordable fashion, and it's all because of some big changes on the horizon. See, a lot of those fast fashion companies like Shane and Temu rely heavily on Chinese manufacturing. Factories in China churn out massive quantities of clothing at lightning speed, keeping costs low and supply high. But with this new tariff, those bargain basement prices are probably going to disappear faster than a trendy TikTok dance. Imagine logging in to find your favorite $5 t-shirt now costs $15. Those companies are going to have to make a choice. Either eat the cost of the tariff and see their profits dwindle, or pass those costs on to you, the consumer. And trust me, the latter is more likely. And let's be real, they're not going to choose to take a hit to their bottom line. These companies are in the business of making money, and they'll do whatever it takes to keep those profit margins healthy. So, if you're addicted to those $5 t-shirts and $10 dresses, you might want to start weaning yourself off now. It's time to rethink our shopping habits and consider the true cost of fast fashion. The era of ultra-cheap, disposable fashion might be coming to an end. And while it might be a tough pill to swallow, it's a necessary change for a more sustainable future. And you know what? Maybe that's not such a bad thing. Embracing sustainable fashion means supporting ethical practices, reducing waste, and investing in quality over quantity. It's a win for everyone. Bad news, techies, your beloved gadgets are about to get more expensive. See, China is kind of a big deal when it comes to manufacturing electronics. We're talking smartphones, laptops, tablets, you name it. And guess what happens when you slap a 10% tariff on those bad boys? That's right, the price goes up. So, that new iPhone you've been eyeing? Yeah, it's going to cost you. That sleek new laptop you need for work or school? Better start saving. This isn't just about brand name electronics either. We're talking about the components that go into pretty much every electronic device out there. So, even if you're not buying the latest and greatest gadgets, you're still going to feel the pinch. Get ready for a whole new world of sticker shock, folks. Section 5, Playtime gets pricier toys. Hasbro, Mattel, and the Tariff toy chest. Remember that feeling of joy when you were a kid and got to pick out a new toy? The excitement, the anticipation, the sheer happiness of holding that new toy in your hands? Well, get ready for that feeling to be replaced by the sting of inflation. Because toys are another big-ticket item that's about to get more expensive. The days of affordable playtime are slowly fading away. Think about it. Companies like Hasbro and Mattel, they manufacture a lot of their toys in China. This has been the norm for years, allowing them to produce toys at a lower cost and pass those savings on to consumers. And you know what happens when those toys have to pass through customs with a 10% tariff slapped on them? It's not just a minor inconvenience, it's a significant cost increase that gets passed down the line. Yep, the price goes up. Retailers have no choice but to adjust their prices to cover the additional costs. This means higher prices on the shelves for you and me. So that Barbie dream house you were saving up for, the one that was already a bit of a splurge, better start adding a few extra dollars to the piggy bank. Every cent counts when prices are on the rise. That awesome new action figure your kid has been begging for, the one they've been dreaming about and talking about nonstop. Get ready to say no a lot more often. It's not just about the cost, it's about the disappointment and the tough choices parents have to make. This tariff is basically a tax on childhood joy. It's a harsh reality that affects not just the wallet, but the heart. And that's not hyperbole, folks. The impact is real, and it's felt by families everywhere. The joy of playtime is being overshadowed by economic pressures, and that's a tough pill to swallow for everyone involved. Okay, let's talk about something called the de minimis rule. Don't worry, it's not as complicated as it sounds. Basically, it meant that if you ordered something online from another country and it cost less than $800, you didn't have to pay any import duties or taxes on it. It was a beautiful thing. But guess what? The US government decided to suspend the de minimis rule for goods coming from China. So now, even those cheap little gadgets and trinkets you order online are going to be subject to the 10% tariff. So, yeah, that online shopping addiction you've developed, it's about to get a whole lot more expensive. And those e-commerce giants like Amazon and Alibaba, they're not going to be too happy about this either. Get ready for a whole new world of online shopping, folks. One where everything is just a little bit more expensive. So, you might be thinking, hey John, this all sounds pretty bad, but at least American retailers will benefit, right? Well, not so fast. Sure, some American companies might see a little boost as people shy away from more expensive Chinese imports. But here's the thing, a lot of American retailers rely on Chinese manufacturing too. They import goods from China, slap their brand names on them, and sell them to American consumers. So, while they might be able to pass off some of the tariff costs as made in America premiums, they're still going to feel the pinch. And let's not forget about the potential for retaliation from China. If they decide to slap tariffs on American goods in return, well, that's going to hurt American businesses too. It's a lose-lose situation, folks. All right, investors, listen up. This new tariff, it's a game changer. The stock market is already jittery, and this is just going to add fuel to the fire. Companies that rely heavily on Chinese manufacturing, their stock prices are probably going to take a hit. On the other hand, companies that manufacture goods domestically or source their products from other countries, they might see a boost. But it's not that simple, folks. This tariff is going to have ripple effects throughout the global economy. It's going to create uncertainty and volatility. So what's an investor to do? Well, if you're a long-term investor, the best advice is probably to just ride it out. Don't panic and sell everything. But if you're looking for short-term gains, this tariff is both a risk and an opportunity. Just remember, folks, with great tariffs come great market volatility. So, there you have it, folks. The US-China trade war is back on, and it's going to cost you. These new tariffs are going to impact everything from the clothes you wear, to the electronics you use, to the toys your kids play with. The US government argues that these tariffs are necessary to protect American jobs and industries, but the reality is they're probably going to end up hurting American consumers and businesses more than they help. We're living in uncertain times, folks. Global trade is in a state of flux, and these tariffs are just another symptom of that. So buckle up, because it's going to be a